Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fine. Previously I've started the topic that is functions in C. In the previous video I have discussed about some basic introduction to function, that is what is function or why you use function. If you guys haven't seen the video yet, the link is in the description, you can check that out. And also the whole playlist of the C programming will be there in the I button, you can also check that out. Now in this video we'll discuss about the function declaration in C. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Now let us first see what is a function declaration. As we already know, when you declare a variable, we declare its properties to the compiler. For example, if we write int xyz, now the properties for this is that the name of the variable is xyz and the type of the variable is integer. Similarly, function declaration, also called as function prototype, means declaring the properties of a function. That is, a function declaration tells the compiler about the function's name, return type and the parameter. The general form of function definition is first we need to write the return type, then the function name, then the parameter list, and inside the parenthesis comes the body of the function. For example, let us see, here we have write that int func and inside parenthesis we have write int char. Now let us see what are those things. Okay, now here first the name of the function is func. Okay, next comes the return type of the function, that is integer, and here are two parameters, and those two parameters are integer and character. We always need to remember one thing, that a function prototype always ends with a semicolon. Now we need to remember few more points. It is not necessary to put the name of the parameter in the function prototype. Okay, for example, if we write int func int var1 char var2, okay, now here the var1 and the var2 are the name of the two parameters. Okay, so we don't need to write this var1 and var2. It is not an issue if we write this var1 and var2. So it is not necessary to write the name of the parameters in function declaration, but it is necessary to write the name of the parameter in function declaration. Just keep this point in mind, that it is necessary to write the name of the parameter while defining the function. Okay, now let us see an example of function declaration. First I will write the program, then I will discuss each and every part. Okay. Okay, now let us see what we have written here. Firstly, here you can see that I have written the first preprocessor hash include stdio.h. Now here I have written a function func, okay, whose return type is care, and it has no parameter. Now here after the main function I am simply calling the function func, whose definition is written over here. Now this will return this a to that particular point where the function func has been called, okay, and this a will be stored in the C, and after that we simply print this C, okay. As compiler checks the program from top to bottom, so it first checks the function prototype char func. It sees that the return type is the character and there is no parenthesis. And next, inside the main function, the compiler simply calls the func and control passes over here to this function definition. Now the compiler first checks the definition with the function prototype. Now here it checks that both the return type are char and the function is func and there is no parameters. So now this a will return to here and a will be stored in C. So after printing we will get the, as expected, the character is a. Now let us see after compiling what you get. Yes, it is showing that character is a. Okay, now is it always necessary to declare the function before using it? No, it is not necessary, but it is preferred to declare the function before using it. Okay, now why? Let us see an example for this. Okay, here you can see that in this code I have not declared the function but actually have defined the function before calling it. This is also one way in which compiler can know what is the return type of the function and how many parameters it will accept. Therefore, either we first declare the function or define the function by calling it. Before calling it, this program will execute. Now let us compile the program and see if it executes or not. Yes, it is showing that character is a. Okay. Now what happened when you use the function before defining it? Now let me first cut this the definition and paste this after the main function. Now what if we compile? Yes, it is showing an error. The error is that conflicting type for function and previous implicit declaration of function was here. Now what is the meaning of implicit declaration of function? As you can see, I haven't declared the function before using it. This means that compiler implicitly assumes something about this function as it has no information about the function. That is what the return type of the function or how many parameters are there. Therefore, compiler implicitly assumes about the function, and what it assumes that the function must have return type integer, and with this assumption it simply calls the function, and when it calls the function and come to this particular point, it says that the return type is the character. Therefore it conflicts with the return type, that it assumes the return type might be integer, but it, when after coming here, it says that the return type is character. So a conflict arises. That is why this error will produce. Okay. Now simply implicit declaration means that compiler assumes implicitly that the return type will be the integer, although it doesn't assume anything about the parameter. Okay. Whenever we define or declare the function before using it, then the compiler conflicts and produces this error. Okay friends, this is it for now. If you have any confusion, you can comment down below, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any update in future.